Good morning, Eagle Nation, running up that hill. Today is the 34th day of school. It is the 20th of September. It's also a Tuesday. Wherever you may be, please stop. Please stand. Let us rise together for this morning's Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today's the day where we move up from 20 to 21. Incremental change, right? The 1% difference. 1 out of 21 is, or 1 of 20 is actually not 1%, but the concept is the same. So let's see if we can do 21 today. 21 is an interesting number. It's divisible by 1, 3, 7, and 21. Let's count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, keep going. 18, you got this. And 21. It's a composite number because it has more factors than just one in itself. It's composite. Today, on this Wednesday, lots of stuff going on. But first, the song that you heard, Running Up That Hill, was a song dedication by Malik. For no other reason than he really likes that song. And it was used in an episode of Stranger Things. I watched that scene. I'm terrified. Thank you for that song dedication, Malik. I'm going to start my day off perfectly creeped out. On this day, this Tuesday, I want you to be reminded that today in the Media Center, there's a schedule put forth that Nurse Wendy put out to all of you about what time we are doing our mass screenings today. So please be sure that you look back for that email, follow those directions for where to enter, where to exit, and what time to report there for those mass screenings. Thank you, Nurse Wendy, for keeping us all healthy and helping us catch problems early on. As we continue our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, I wanted to share with you a new author, and also I'm looking forward to reading Chato's Kitchen to the first graders. Thank you for that invitation, Ms. Fuentes, and to you first graders. If anybody else would like to invite me, I would love to come and read to you. Today, I want to share with you a different book that I've been reading at home. This one is a chapter book. It's called The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora. And I was reading this last night, and I'll share with you just this little snippet because it's made my daughter laugh. And it's written in a variety of styles, but one of the styles is actually reads more like a play with characters along the side and words that they're reading. So you can actually act out some of this book, while the rest of it is simply straight narrative prose. All right. And this book was written by Pablo Cartaya, who is a Cuban-American writer, author, and whose father actually is a veteran of the Bay of Pigs invasion. If you don't know what the Bay of Pigs invasion was, perhaps in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, you will learn as you study American history. But what's special about Pablo Cartaya is that as a Cuban American, he says, I live my life in the hyphen, meaning he's a Cuban-American, Cuban-American. But he doesn't live as a Cuban, and he doesn't live as an American. He lives in that space in between. Cubans might say, he's not Cuban enough, he's too American. Americans might say, he's not American enough, he's too Cuban. And there's lots of people, millions of people, who live their lives in the hyphen, in that space in between. And it's a unique and beautiful place to be if you see it that way. So that's Pablo Cartaya. If you're interested in finding out more about him, look him up. I encourage you to do so. And until then, enjoy this brief excerpt. And if you'd like me to come read to you, I'd be happy to do so. And if you'd like to check out this book, I would invite you to do so. All you got to do is get permission to come by my office. And it's here until somebody else picks it up. Let's see. This is Bren speaking to his friend Mop and Arturo about this girl named Carmen. Arturo likes Carmen. See, they're family friends from a long, long, long time ago, several years ago. He's now an early teenager. But she's actually the goddaughter of his aunt, I believe. And so he's conflicted because she's not technically a blood relative, but their families have been so close that he's not sure how he feels and whether or not he actually, if it's okay for him to like her or not. But he kind of has a crush on her. So here he is playing basketball with his two friends, Mop and Bren, and they're talking about it. Bro, she was like the tallest girl I've ever seen. She's almost your height, Arturo. Every time you say bro, the English language loses its will to live. Dude, I think you should totally ask her out. Me? No way. My mom is her godmother. We're practically related. Can we just play? I won't tell you the rest, but it takes place in Miami, Florida, where Mr. Aviles is from. Thought you might enjoy this. It's here in my office. Come check it out. And on this Tuesday, we have sports practice, of course, after school. If you haven't checked out the WAG, please be sure that you do. Lots of photos in there to acknowledge and celebrate the many great things that are happening in your classrooms. And thank you for your continued efforts to be respectful and responsible and caring. Teachers, thank you for continuing to enforce and reinforce that and encourage and cultivate that. All right, some words of wisdom so you can get to the business of teaching and learning. Today is on the topic of kindness. What do we human beings want for the future? Do we want to stop the violence? Do we want to live in a world that is fair and safe for all people? Most of us would answer yes to these questions. Albert Schweitzer, who was a great humanitarian and also a doctor, said this: everyone should practice true humanity towards his fellow men and women. On that depends the future of mankind. In other words, Dr. Schweitzer is saying that the future of our world depends on everyone's learning to be fair and kind to one another. That sounds like a simple solution, don't you think? So today, remember Albert Schweitzer's words. Let's start treating each other with respect, honoring each other's differences, and being kind to one another. With something to think about, this is Mr. Lodato. Mask up today, as needed. Hats and hoods off indoors. Stay in your zones. Put away your phones. And keep running up that hill.